Willie D. Live.
What's up, family? Michelle Obama has been doing an awful lot of talking lately about the ups and downs of her marriage with former President Barack Obama. It has triggered mixed reactions. Some people can appreciate the honesty while others see it as potentially problematic. And I absolutely get it, because when someone in a high-profile admired marriage shares too much personal detail, it can blur the lines between healthy transparency and oversharing. It invites scrutiny and commentary that often overshadows the original intent, which for Michelle is to often encourage resilience and realistic expectations. Michelle sat down with Bruce Springsteen for a special Father's Day edition of her IMO podcast, where she discussed Barack's role as a father. "You lose those years, they go by fast," she told Bruce, while reflecting on Barack's busy schedule during his first days as the first Black president. She recalled singing the lyrics from the 1974 folk song Cats in the Cradle by Harry Chapin to Barack when she felt he wasn't doing enough as a dad. "You're gonna look up and the girls will be gone, because there's a little window that parents don't understand time, when your children even want to be bothered with you." She recalled saying this about Barack. She described Barack as a tremendous father. Let's stop right there. He's a tremendous father, but you're blasting him for not having enough time with the kids. Trading time with your family is one of the sacrifices, perhaps the greatest sacrifice one will make when they are chasing greatness. That's just what it is. If you think of almost every great man that's out there, I'm talking about the ones who are great by standards of accomplishments, right? Societal standards of accomplishments, right? I'm talking about making history, those type of things. Because, there's a lot of great men out there who are not, accomplished by societal standards, but by human standards. They're good dudes, raise their family, hard workers, love their children, love their woman, love family, spend a lot of time with their family. Great dudes, right? But we're talking about societal standards in terms of accomplishments, right? This man was the first Black president of the United States. And even if he wasn't, just being the president got a busy schedule, unless you're Donald Trump and you just sit around tweeting all damn day. But otherwise, presidents move around here. I remember R.I.P. Sheila Jackson Lee, Congresswoman for Houston, right? For Texas. I remember one day going to about 4 events. She was at every single event. And when I spoke to her about it, I was joking with her about it. And she was like, "Yeah, I got 3 more events." And I was like, done. I was exhausted after those 4 events. And she had 3 more to do. And her schedule was always like that. So, you talking about being a politician and on that type of level, a congressional level, or presidential level, hey man, that comes with the territory. I don't think she realizes how much damage she's actually doing. This is the way I look at it, fam. If you're doing something to help and you're hurting along the way, is it really worth what it is that you're doing? I mean, it's almost like you're hustling backwards. You're cutting off your nose to spite your face. Okay, so let's say she helped a few people by offering her testimony, right? But in the meantime, she putting pressure on her husband, because people gotta have a villain and a hero. If she's, on her soapbox talking about how Barack has fallen short of her expectations, then, there's gonna be people that's gonna feel sorry for her and say, "You know what, man, that damn Barack, man, I don't like that guy." Or you'll have people who really like Barack and are mad at her for putting their business in the streets. Also, see, this type of thing, when you overshare, it invites unsolicited opinions, which a lot of times will not be the one that you expect. You know, a lot of times we have these conversations, people post things online, and they hope that people see things their way. They hope that people empathize with them. They hope that people are on their side. And when they're not, what is the first thing people will say? What is the first thing they will invariably say? Mind your business. Mind the business that pays you. Stay out of my business. Imagine one of your friends calling you out of the blue. Hello? Hey man, can you bring me a gun? Can I bring you a gun? What the hell are you talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that... Well, what you need a gun for? Man, don't worry about it. Just bring me a gun. Don't worry about it. What you mean don't worry about it? You want me to bring you a gun? You see where I'm going with that, fam? Like, you put me in your business and you don't want me to ask questions. Don't work like that. Michelle is doing too much talking, I do believe. I know she's just trying to help, but she's doing too much talking. Here's something else to think about. The Obamas are often seen as a symbol of black love and stability. So when Michelle talks about long stretches of being unhappy or carrying more of the emotional load, you know, it kind of shakes that image, especially for people who have clung to them as a rare example of a successful united black couple in the public eye. Her comments, no matter how grounded or nuanced, can be taken out of context by people who are in the media and their political enemies. They can use that and say, hey man, look at him fitting right into the stereotype of the angry black woman or the emotionally unavailable black man. You dig what I'm saying? See, I don't believe in giving them ammunition. I believe you keep your personal and your public. You gotta have boundaries. All of this sharing only opens you up. So when she starts complaining about how she's not so as happy as she could have been, or she starts to dig at Barack's shortcomings, he's only human. So what do you think? Eventually, Barack gonna start digging at her shortcomings. And you know she ain't gonna be able to hold it together like Barack can. You know that, right? Yeah, you know, because for years it was like a running joke, an acceptable running joke, where women would complain about their men and people would just laugh and, happy wife, happy life, right? And the men just had to deal with it. But in the last several years, especially with women and they pushing this feminine agenda and all that stuff, this feminist agenda, men have found their voice, and they say, now wait a minute, that's starting to be some pushback. Like, wait a minute, no, happy wife, happy life, no, happy spouse, happy house, yeah, that type of thing. The men starting to say, hold on, man, well, what about me? Because a trip thing about relationships is most men, in most relationships, the men die first. Yeah, in most relationships, men die first. And I do believe that is because the load of the serious stuff, the worrying stuff, is put on the man. The providing, the protecting, the working your fingers to the bones. I get it, ladies, the house duties and the kids and stuff is important. But I think that can be handled when you have a man who has the financial part covered. When he's handling that part and he's also worried about protecting you. See, that's one thing that a lot of women who have husbands and men in their life, they don't really have to worry about protection. They don't have to think about it. Fellas, how many times have you been with your woman and you told her before she went to do something, be careful, look out for this, look out for that, and she'd be like, hey, what's wrong? You're so paranoid. See, but at the end of the day, they do appreciate having a man who they feel safe around, right? Well, that safety costs. It costs for you to have a man that makes you feel safe. The reason why that man makes you feel safe is because he takes the necessary, you know that he takes the necessary precautions to look out for you, to make sure you're good. You can drop your guard when you're in public, when you're with him, because you know he's always on guard. You can drop your guard when you're inside of the house, because you know he's there. But what you don't understand is that he's always thinking. He's always concerned. He knows that he's going to have to jump into action. Whatever harm is trying to come your way, it has to get through him first. But anyway, fam, drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.